Oh, howdy all, grab yourself a drink. It is time for some Path of Exile 1 discussion. Today, I want to talk about that dicey question of what is the line between smart play and an exploit. And we want to talk about the broken farm that exists in the Legacy of Phrecia event. I have emailed GGG seeking clarification as to whether they consider this to be within the bounds of reasonable play, or whether they consider it to be an exploit. Personally, I'm not going to use it until I get clarification from them because it feels like it is across the line. Have a look at this particular mod that exists on the 2x2 Conqueror idols. Remember, you can't get Conqueror idols until you're deep into red maps. They only drop from monster levels 81 and above. This has a text. Your maps have an 8 to 12% chance to contain 6 to 10 additional rogue exiles. So let's imagine that you've got perfect rolls on this. Your maps have a 12% chance to contain 10 additional rogue exiles. 1.2 rogue exiles per map. Nothing special, you're probably thinking. You know, this is less than a scarab. What would happen if you had 4 of these? Well, intuitively, you would think there'd be some way that Grinding Games would set it up so that you would get 4.8 rogue exiles per map. 4 times as good as having 1 of them. That would be your intuition. The reality is that the chance to get them stacks, and so does the number of exiles when the proc goes off. So instead of 12% chance to get 10 exiles, your 48% chance to get 40 exiles, for a total of 19.2 rogue exiles per map on average. This is completely and utterly broken, but I do want to put out a little bit of a warning before you mortgage everything your character's got in order to pick up these particular idols. And that is that there was a similarly broken farm that was equally disruptive to the League economy back in patch 3.25. Patch 3.25.0 hotfix 12 was designed to smash this. This had the text, temporarily disabled and prevented maps being opened with the Divination Scarab of Plenty. This Scarab was later reworked, it no longer does what it did then. What it used to do was add a number of packs to maps that would be guaranteed to drop a Divination card each, for each single monster that you killed. In most situations, this was pretty fine, because in most situations, in fact in every single situation where you're using a map at its intended level, you would find that there was something that was relatively common. So for instance, you might choose a map that has Unrequited Love, but it also has a much more common Divination card, and the vast majority of the time, you got the much more common Divination card. But there was one little problem, and that little problem was that if you took Burial Chambers and you scried it to tier 1, then every single other Divination card that was allowed to drop in that map was minimum tier 2 or above. As a result, the only Divination card that could drop in your tier 1 map that had Burial Chambers scried onto it was Brother's Gift, the most valuable of the lot. Brother's Gift is balanced through its rarity, it's super valuable, super rare, and it's simply a voucher for 5 Divine Orbs. And what happened? Well, a group of players discovered this and very quickly opened literally dozens of these Burial Chambers maps and full cleared them, got in all of those Divination cards, turned them in, and bought everything expensive in the entire League economy. Grinding Games said afterwards that was not on. The players that were involved in it apparently were banned for 3 months, the characters involved were deleted, and the wealth involved was deleted. The moral to this story is that when there's something that is completely broken, when there's something that sets off your warning, oh, this feels like it might be cheating, well, maybe Grinding Games consider it cheating. As I see it, there are 2 ways Grinding Games could rule on this. They could say, yeah, this is unintended, but we'll let you have it for this league. That's the way that they reacted in Affliction League when there was the inflation that was created by Abyssal Spire interactions with multiple projectiles, and as a result we ended up with extreme inflation throughout the Trade League economy, and essentially people that weren't doing this particular strategy were pretty much locked out of trading for things that were valuable. Alternately, Grinding Games might repeat the 3.25 approach of saying, not only is this unintended, but it's so clearly unintended that we're going to start banning people for doing it. Or who knows, maybe they'll go in between and decide they're going to stop this from working, but not take any action against people that have participated in it. In any case, until we get a clear statement from GGG, I'm going to advise caution on this, and you don't want to be a person who buys a bunch of these particular idols at inflated prices, only to find out that they become worthless because of an emergency patch. Anyways, there's quite a bit of a bind for Grinding Games here. This is going to dominate the League economy if it's allowed to continue. In fact, it's going to be so extreme that if you don't do it, you're going to be locked out of everything rare in the Trade League economy. There's going to be massive inflation as a result of this, and so on and so forth. But at the same time, a lot of people are doing it already, which was not the case with the 3.25.0 issues. I'll let them work out what to do. For now, I'm not taking part in it. May your Varlobs have interesting results.